Afternoon and welcome back to the show, everybody. If you're streaming us on YouTube or Facebook or watching us on KUAM TV, I'm Jason Salas, and someone who I have admired for many, many years, Justice Robert Torres of the Judiciary of Guam is joining me on the KUAM couch now, and we are talking about a wonderful event that happens each and every year, I should say, Law Week.
It is.
It's every year, but it's Law Week. So, Justice, welcome back. A pleasure as always.
Thank you, Jason. Always a pleasure to be here. And I want to thank KUAM because you've been supportive of our Law Week effort since the very beginning. This is the 12th year we've been doing the program. And each year it continues to grow. And KUAM has been a big partner with us in this. So thank you.
Well, we certainly, it's our honor, your honor. And we certainly have the easy part because everybody at the Judiciary, this is not an easy event to put together because it's an entire week, but events all over the island.
Indeed it is, and actually it's grown from Law Day to Law Week to Law Weeks, and we have activities going on. We'll be starting this Friday with the resolution proclamation where all three branches of government will come together and recognize the Law Week with a signing at the Governor's Cabinet Room in Adelup, and then next week we have the State of the Judiciary address by Chief Justice Merriman. And then this Saturday we have our law fair, and including the first of our fairy tale mock trials that will go on at the law fair this weekend.
I have been waiting for that. I don't want to bury the lead, Your Honor, but I know this has been your baby, your pet project, if you will, for many, many years. I believe you've done, was it Goldilocks and the Three Bears before?
Yes.
These are actual real cases put underneath the guise of, funny fairy tales. Or, Did you do Star Wars one year or Harry Potter?
We did. Luke Skywalker was on trial for murder for blowing up the Death Star.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and we've had, SpongeBob. We've had the Three Little Pigs on trial for attempted wolf cooking as the wolf comes down the chimney.
So what have you got for us this year?
Well, there's a number of them. I mean, one of the ones that is always an exciting one is Goldilocks and the Three Bears and Snow White. Snow White is being sued for the fairest of them all. The wicked stepmother says that she stole her trademark.
Okay.
So
if it's all seven dwarfs, would that constitute like a class action lawsuit, or is that still individual?
Yeah, it's the seven dwarfs are always there as witnesses. So they come in as witnesses.
Okay, very tactical.
Yeah,
how lawyerly. Okay,
but it is a lot of fun, and the program. On a serious note, with it, we started with two schools, Agata Johnson and Mercy Heights, and we had close to 40 kids. Now we have 14 schools with over 400 kids participating. And in fact, this morning as I was discussing our mock trial play, a mother texted me to remind me that her son, who's now a second-year lawyer, started with the mock trial.
Wow.
In an elementary school.
Well, how does that make you feel? Because I know one of the hallmarks of Law Week, and this is for everybody who's involved in the practice of law on Guam, it is a celebration of the profession, which is very, very noble and very necessary in our island community. But it's also about celebrating the liberties that we as Americans are privileged to have.
And in fact, that's picking up on this year's theme. The national theme this year talks about the importance of individual liberties and rights and its contribution to a free society. We decided in honor of the 75th anniversary of our liberation this year to give it more of a local flavor. And so the theme for us is Evolving Liberty 75 years later. And so we're going to be focusing on some of the liberties that we enjoy and maybe some of the things that we don't have, comparable to other U.S. citizens in the mainland, and really get that discussion out there. We're going to have a presidential lecture series next week on May 2nd with Attorney Joaquin Arreola Sr., Judge Joaquin Manabusen, and the Attorney General of Guam, Levin Camacho. Will be talking about the growth and development of the law, post-liberation, and the changes that we've seen, and some of the things that we still have to address.
How large, Your Honor, is Guam's lawyer community, lawyers, judges, people that practice law?
I think the active practice of law, last I remember, is probably 300 plus active lawyers. And then we have some lawyers who are still in inactive status. The largest law practice is at the Attorney General's office in terms of the number of licensed practitioners.
And how would you describe, the nature of Guam's legal community? Because some people say, it can be a very cutthroat industry depending on the market you're in, but I've always known it to be very collegial.
Yeah, I think it is still a collegial atmosphere in our community. And I think we try to stress that with the get-togethers that we have. The Guam Bar Association's very good at doing that. I mean, the profession is changing, as is the island is changing, unfortunately. And so you don't have, I think, the same collegiality that existed 20 years ago. But that's not to say, and I think part of it is getting younger lawyers to realize that you can be adversaries in the courtroom, but still friends outside of the courtroom. And I think, it's a message we try to impart upon them when we get together. And they see it, I think, when you see especially some of these seasoned lawyers who are very good friends, but have practices where they're, squaring off constantly in the courtroom.
Well, two of the candidates for Attorney General this time, it was Frank Gumatato and Doug Moylan. They say that they're best of friends, and yet they were opposing each other running for the office.
Yeah, and that happens. And, you just have to recognize that in a small community as ours, you're going to see the person in a variety of different ways, not only professionally, but personally, at the gym, out on the side, walking at the beach, wherever it is. And so to be collegial and to encourage a collegial bar, I think, is important.
Okay, final question as we wrap up. Sitting back from your vantage point, having practiced law and made this profession your life's work for so many years on Guam, what message would you like this year's Law Week to send down to younger practitioners or even those who have yet to start and maybe considering a career?
Well, I think the important thing is for us, and part of why we continue to do these Law Week activities, is to let people know the importance of the judiciary as the third branch of government. It's an integral part, and oftentimes, people focus on the executive branch, they focus on the legislative branch, they get almost all the headlines. But the judiciary plays an important role in our society and is the cornerstone of the third branch of government. And I think we just try to get people to understand the important role that we play in the government and in government structure.
All right. Well, Your Honor, it is always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just a quick plug, Jason, for
Absolutely.
the Law Fair on this weekend at the Judiciary starting at 10, and then the Race Judicata 5K on May 11th.
Those are always
at
fun.
6 o'clock at the Judiciary.
All right, real quick. There is no more lawyer on Guam that is a bigger sports fan. Can I get a prediction for the NBA Finals?
I think it's going, of course, from the West, it most likely will be the Warriors that will go. And I think whoever wins the Boston Bucks series will be in the finals.
Okay.
And
how many games? Warriors in 5?
No, if the Celtics make it, I'm going to cheer for Boston.
There you go.
But, it's going to be tough. The Warriors are stacked, as we know, and they play very well.
Well, we'd love to have you back. We'd love to have you back when the finals are well in swing.
I'd be happy to come back and talk sports
Talk
with you
sports.
one day.
Absolutely.
All right,
we can do
Jason.
that forever. All right. Thanks so much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We're back after this.